Alright, so welcome to the next bit of our Halloween Fest kind of bonus videos. This is the demo disc for Dino Crisis that came with Resident Evil 3, I think. And it was also, I think, in some magazines. It's broke up into 3 separate chunks here, so I'm going to go through them one by one. I think this is a great way to do a demo. The last one that we looked at was the Dead Rising demo, which was kind of a 15 to 20 minute long little look at an area. This I think is better because it showcases, like, hey, these are some things you're going to encounter in the game. These are, you know, you liked this little taste? Well, there's more of it in the actual game. So I think this is a good way to do it. It shows you some of the gameplay mechanics. Yeah, I kind of miss demos like this. Well, you know what? I miss demos, period. I feel like there really aren't. They don't make them anymore. Or if they do, they're not very interesting. So this is one of my favorite games. It is obviously a Resident Evil style game made by Capcom. But instead of zombies, there's some dinosaurs. Which is better, I think, is a better concept than Resident Evil. I almost feel like if this series was allowed to thrive more, it might have even overtaken Resident Evil for me. I think the dinosaurs are a little bit more challenging to avoid than the zombies. I think they're more threatening, that's for sure. And I mean, who doesn't love dinosaurs?
What's our status?
This security system is a snap for me. Real amateur stuff. So, what exactly happened to Gale? You said that he was attacked by a dinosaur?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I just hope he's still alive. Anyway, our first priority is to complete the mission.
What we ought to do is just call in the chopper and get off this death trap.
That's a great idea, but Cooper has the radio, and he's missing. What's with this monitor?
That's the security monitor for the underground area. The camera's offline.
So I take it that means power still hasn't been restored to the area.
Exactly. They must have that area wired to a different power system than the ground level.
We can investigate that area after we finished our sweep of the ground level.
Okay, then I'll take care of the shutters that are blocking the way. You work your way in, grab the dock, and then rendezvous back here. Yeah. Now what I want to know is where those things are coming from.
This is really the only part of the demo that showcases really any kind of, like, significant amount of the story. So I would say that's mostly what this little chunk does. Up here, I kind of like this rappelling thing. It's not my favorite. There really could have just been a door there. But over here, we're going to see one of my favorite gameplay mechanics from this game that I really like, and I kind of wish other games in the genre would have done.
Regina, I took care of the shutter. You should be able to access the control panel now.
Already? That was quick. Thanks.
Hey girl, just get going.
So there's these electrical gates, or I guess laser gates, that can protect you from the enemies. They block your path, but they mostly protect you. You can shoot through them, so you can conceivably trap a couple of velociraptors behind these gates and just murder them, which is really, really helpful. Because I would say this game is probably more difficult than at least like Resident Evil 1 and 2. It's probably on par with 3, and I guess Code Veronica. The only thing I don't like about the enemies in this game is that they respawn. So I almost feel like sometimes the best way to play this game is on the easy difficulty. just because you're going to be wasting a lot of ammo, or at least me personally, because I am the kind of guy who goes through these games and obsessively kills everything, which is not how you're supposed to be playing these types of survival horror games. So yeah, that, the laser gate thing I really quite like. There are a few things that the game does better than the classic games, the classic Resident Evil games, some things it does worse. This is a game that I really do genuinely love, and you'll probably see it on this channel at some point. So I'll get more into it then, but I do not like this game's equivalent of the item boxes is really stinky, and I do not like it. So that is the end of this chunk. So now we are in the second chunk of the demo. This one is definitely the worst. It just... there's a puzzle part. This is, I guess, showcasing the game's puzzles. This is a puzzle in the game that I do not like, and I personally would not have put it in here. One of the things that is really surprising, that whenever I come back to this game, I'm always like, that's right, Regina can move and shoot. Which you couldn't do until Resident Evil 6. You know, or I guess Revelations was the first one to do it, but it looks cool, it functions well. Like, Regina with the shotgun inching forward towards the enemy is, like, totally badass, in my opinion. It just looks cool, and I think if given the options to do so, this mechanic would have worked very well in the older Resident Evil games. This demo is not in analog, so I'm playing this with the D-pad, which I did a playthrough of this game earlier this year, like the full game. I could have sworn I did it with the analog control. So moments like these, I think you have to either mash the D-pad or the face buttons. I do both. So I just start mashing there, and you get out of it. Otherwise, I think you just die. Which, I guess, is that like one of the first uses of a, like a quick time event in a game? These guys, these pteranodons or pterodactyls or whatever these guys stink because they can just combo you like this. It's so annoying. I love the location of this game. I love the labs. My favorite parts of Resident Evil games are always like the Umbrella labs. And this is basically an entire game of an Umbrella lab that also, did I mention, is just covered with dinosaurs. So I think that's really cool. This game has a great location. Regina's a great character. She's got a great design. I mean, I'm partial to redheads, so can't really argue with that. The dinosaur concept is cool. It's got a great soundtrack. And some of the most memorable moments in gaming, one of which is included in this demo. So this is the puzzle part. I'm not a big fan of this puzzle. Of course, I know the combination of this puzzle because I've played the game, and this has been burned into my memory. But I feel like if you're maybe playing through this for the first time, you could get frustrated doing this. Maybe I'm just stupid, but you could, your first time through, get confused doing this and eventually just be like, you know what, I don't want to play this game anymore, and then eventually end up like not buying it. Of course, back in the day, that doesn't apply now. Now you could just probably emulate this entire game. Not that you should. I think this is available on the PS3, so do that instead. If there's one game, well, two games that I want Capcom to remake the most, it would be Code Veronica. One, that'd just be cool. It's my favorite of the classic games. Two, this one. Be great. I'd love to see it. I was hoping that we were going to get a Regina costume for Jill in the 3 remake like we do in the original 3. That didn't happen. Okay, so now we're in the last little chunk, which is my favorite. This contains one of my favorite sections in the entire game. I did not kill that Velociraptor because I want to conserve as much ammo as possible here, specifically for the shotgun. And I think on my way back, I might go pick up more of that ammo because I do need quite a bit of it. So this is also the shortest one, I think. God, don't you miss gliding against walls just to get to the door because of the tank controls? This is one of those moments that the first time I ever played this game, it gave me like goosebumps. I still get really giddy when I get to this part. It's just really cool. The music's great, again, as I said before. I don't know. I feel like even this is a good example of the fixed camera angle. I think there's another better example of the fixed camera angles in this game earlier on that's similar to this part, but this part is, I don't think you can replicate this with a free-flowing camera. So I'm going to try and go in here and hope that the Velociraptor is exactly where he was when I came in. And nope, he is in the worst possible spot. Hopefully I can just inch my way out of here. And nope. Oh well, he hit me once. Big deal. Yeah, this next part coming up is genuinely one of my favorites. And I would say probably the ultimate reason to be like, oh my god, this is the kind of stuff that we can see in this game. I gotta pick this up. This is a good demo, is what I'm saying. I think it's the perfect showcase of what is contained in this game. And it's like, this is just a little taste, a little morsel. If you want more, pick up the full game. This is a great demo. And this is one of those things that if I had played this as a kid, this probably would have been my favorite game. But here we go. I'm just going to let this scene play out because of the amazing music. Watch Regina's shadow disappear, too.
Regina, what happened? The emergency lock on the second floor's just been activated.
I'm a bit busy right now. Do something about it.
Don't sweat it. I'll release the lock.
That musical cue where it pans up and it's kind of magical, it's kind of wonderful, and then it gets scared because you're like, oh my god, that's a T-Rex. And then you go, oh my god, that's a T-Rex. It's great. Great mood in that. So here, you want to shoot him as he's lunging at you, so you can knock him back. If he doesn't get knocked back, that's an instant kill. This part is really just fucking cool. And it's one of those where it's really anxiety-ridden because of that. It's like, oh my god, 1 second later and he would have chomped on me. But that is the Dino Crisis demo, or trial version, as these games love to be called. One of my favorite games. Thank you for watching. I don't know what demo is going to be next, though.